Hello, love. Welcome back, family. Sending you a great big hug right across this divine matrix. Wherever you are here on beautiful Mama Gaia, this is going to be a continuation of the message that was last posted here to the channel for Empath Starseeds. And by extension of that, even as an empath lightworker, if you resonate with being an empath, this message is for you. Sensitive souls who are here to experience life very fully and deeply and do a lot of alchemical work, because I'm seeing that that is what we signed up for, especially through relationships. So if that's resonating with you, you are invited to stick around. This, we're going to expand on over-explaining why somebody did a shitty thing, and that at this point there is nothing to over-explain anymore. So that's part of kind of the timely aspect of this message. I don't want to make it very, very long. I'm being guided to essentially jump in, but this was coming off of something that came through in the previous video about all the bad things that have happened to me and somehow feeling like you caused them. I have the energy of the Venusians here with us, Venusian consciousness, God, source consciousness, as always, to which I connect to first open up this sacred space, and the energy of Mama Iset, Mother Isis, the Mother. 144 on the counter as I say that. So for some of you, this may also be Mother Mary. This may also be the energy of Christ consciousness. The highest frequency of love and self-love. And what that means. Not abandoning ourselves is what I'm hearing Mama Iset say. We need to alchemize some of this shit, because there is a lot of purging going on, and feel free to leave in the comments if any crazy shit has been going on for you right around this eclipse. The timely aspect of this message, 222 on the counter as I say that. Goodness me. Yeah, I am recording this August 19th. 2026, that's the timely aspect of this message, but this could reach you at any time beyond that, because linear time is only a part of the equation. Timely yet timeless, as I always like to say. So there is this energy collectively right now, and I'm speaking specifically to empaths, sensitive souls, empath starseeds, light workers, okay? About some of us trying to over-understand. It's funny that that word is coming in, because an over-understand is not an inner understanding, right? And the inner standing of going deeper within to try to make sense of something is a very different frequency and energy that Mama Iset is saying we all need to be embracing right now at this point. And I want to bring up something that we need to check into during this time when we have eclipses, when we just have a shit ton of energy and frequency hitting the planet and so many shifts going on collectively. This is another reason why you're hearing a lot of discussion around nervous system regulation and what the fuck that even means. This world and this society, for the most part, that we are set up in, and I'm speaking specifically to the Western world, in quotation marks, because what is East and what is West? It's all about where you're positioned. I'm going to reframe it. That's one way we can talk about it, right? But I'm reframing it in a very hyperactive, goal-oriented, I would even go as far as to say hyper masculinized, okay? And I'm not saying that to, what's the word? Like, point a finger at anything. I'm just talking about the energies currently, and that have been ongoing for a very, very long time. I'm hearing the word suppression, the energy of suppression in terms of emotional health, psychological health, okay, and physical health even, and peace, the suppression of peace. and connecting to the peace within. The suppression of that has created a very dysregulated state for the world over. Mama Gaia feels that. She's coming in now. I'm feeling her energy wanting to be present with us. And by way of that, obviously, connecting here with Mama Iset and the Venusians, we are bringing through an energy and a frequency through the portal of this video is a very divine feminine energy, a grounded, peaceful divine feminine energy, a very centered divine feminine energy, not a wounded divine feminine energy, not an active divine feminine energy, because there is such a thing. All right. She wants us to remember the magic of coming back home to ourselves. And this is something that speaks to the, I guess you could say, mission or frequency that I am here to embody and share with you. So when we are over-explaining something to ourselves, or when we are trying to over-understand something, especially with regard to someone treating us badly, these are exactly the moments that we need to come back to ourselves. And specifically, for whenever you find this video, know this now. It is now a waste of your time. It is now energetically, I'm hearing in Greek, spatalasto chronosu. You're wasting your time, essentially. So on that note, I'm going to just sort of let her take the floor and allow the Venusians to come in as well. Let me keep, actually, they want me to keep my notebook kind of close by in the event that I need to mark anything down. But my space deck is already pretty full right now, and I don't even know how it became that way. And they're telling me that's actually a message here. So for some of us, yeah, we are, but she's saying it's actually, this is interesting. It's a good thing. When we begin to feel overwhelmed by energy, it's an invitation to be able to come back more to who we are. So as opposed to getting really flustered or feeling like you're out of control, the moment that you begin to feel overwhelmed by energies, because she's basically saying to me, this is something that is going on right now. It's just sort of the nature of the business right now. There's just a lot of energetic frequencies. And this had come through in the last message, like the soup, the energetic soup, right? There is a lot of energy just around us right now. So a lot of us may really be feeling fritzy. And with the eclipses, you can also feel that a lot more intensely. Okay, because this is more cosmic energy. This is more concentrated energy. It's affecting Mother Earth. There are also forces, many different forces that are working with this energy, whether good or not so good. And when I say that, there's nothing to fear here. Okay, I really want to make that absolutely clear. She keeps on emphasizing, and the Venusians have done this. Commander Ashtar has come through to speak to this. Lazar has come through to speak to this if you're an OG of the channel. It is about the frequency you hold now. And there's nothing to fear when we are going through some kind of an emotional, what they're saying, repatterning to me, where we start to freak out and think, oh God, now I'm, holding this frequency. And that means that suddenly I'm going to be attracting to me all the things that that are not good because I'm holding this energy and this frequency. That is not the case. We need to clear that mode of thinking from our mental body, is what she's saying to me. And this also overlaps with over-explaining, over-trying to understand, overstanding why someone did a shitty thing to you. We're at a point now for each and every one of you who found this message and who are connecting with this energy. You are at a point right now where there is no more explaining. You need to give yourself permission. You need to play with this concept of giving yourself permission. 10:01 on the counter. So there's a lot of mirroring going on here. You need to give yourself permission to stop mirroring what the other person is going through. You need to stop giving yourself, did I say that correctly? I want to make sure, because this is what happens. You need to stop allowing yourself. Isn't that interesting how allowing and permission totally overlap there? And I used both. She wants me to kind of extrapolate that for a moment. We'll get to that in a second. You need to stop allowing and giving yourself the okay to continuously put yourself in another person's shoes in order to over-understand the point of view that they're coming from. And in a sense, in doing that, allowing the shitty behavior to continue. Being okay with the shitty behavior towards you. And I just keep on hearing her saying, 11:11 on the counter. Okay. There's a lot of programming and indoctrination that we need to, I'm hearing, clear the air of. And again, she's going back to the mental body here. I'm working with lapis lazuli, by the way. I just want to bring that in because this is incredibly helpful in that respect. And this is obviously a crystal and a sacred stone that's connected to her and her energy. So what's going on here is that we are getting way too caught up in this pattern of enabling. For the sake of this video, because we're not here to extrapolate the reasons why we do this, especially when we are empathic souls, we need to recognize what we're doing this. That's the most important thing. So what she wants to focus on for the remainder of this message is where we're allowing ourselves to continually accept really shitty behavior from the other person. And when I say this, I want to be absolutely clear. This is after you have opened up conversations, communicated your needs, already done the work on yourself in the sense of the reflective work, okay? And there's a pattern that continues to play out of you accepting shitty behavior. And essentially, as she wants to say here, the shitty behavior is synonymous at this point of this reading and the message for someone else not respecting your needs. This can also be, I'm getting a lot of a narcissist energy coming up with this too, okay? And this is something I'm going to get to in another video coming up. Because I recently, not that long ago, I would say it's been some months now, okay? Was actually in a, call it family friendship, where in the beginning, to me, I was giving this person the benefit of the doubt. Meanwhile, they have strong narcissistic tendencies. But I'm going to get to that in a whole other thing, because one of the things that empaths just simply need to be aware of is that oftentimes we can meet people at a frequency that, for a moment, in our connection with them, and that perhaps we bring that out of them. And so it gives us a sense of connection with that person, right? But actions always speak louder than words is what she's saying to me. Okay, so we're at that point right now, okay? The actions speaking louder than the words. So the shitty behavior, triumphant successes. I cut the deck. I'm asking through the Psychic Tarot, one of my favorite decks. This is a John Holland deck, okay? This is a new beginning wanting to come in around concepts in relationship is what she's saying to me. If you need to do the regulation work, if you need to do the work, the psychological work right now, this is the practical aspect, right? We want to bring this down to earth as much as we can. Doing the practical work around attachment style, okay? But remember that there is also, like, find really good heart-centered support and advice around this of your own free will, okay? Because there is a lot of gunk in the soup out there about this sort of thing, right? Everybody and their mother now are talking about, attachment styles and relationships and beady, and it can be so nuanced, right? But what we need to remember, I'm hearing sever the ties with that, sever the ties. Some of us just need to do for some of us, it's as simple as doing an energy cord clearing, cutting, uprooting. Meditation, ritual, ceremony. I'm hearing that you can do this at any time, but for some of you, it would actually be very effective to do it while certain planets are in either retrograde or the moon is waning. Okay. Triumphant success, Ace of Swords, all right? This is the one of the mental body. There are new consciousness codes that are wanting to come in around love, connections. I'm also hearing communication. In order to alchemize the energy of attachment, over-attachment, unhealthy attachment, because attachment can be good, okay? Because I know in certain spiritual traditions, everybody's trying to walk around being unattached. I don't teach that. I don't propose that. It's about healthy attachments, functional attachments. Right off the get-go, energy is energy, and we're all connected, right? So why would we always want to be, detaching? But there is a time and purpose for that in terms of giving yourself space. So this is also a message about giving yourself space. I'm also hearing pausing, waiting. Wait to see what happens. Now, this is a very specific message for just a few of you. This is a few of you. Sometimes all that's required in a connection is that you give the other person space. You give the other person space to think on it, to reflect on it. And sometimes that can actually turn out to be a very good thing. But that seems like it's a message just for some of you. Confirmation here with solitude and the energy of the hermit. Pillar of strength. I always hear that when I see this card and I see that column at the back. There's an energy of reflection here that's required right now. And with those mountains in the background, I'm getting the energy also of healthy boundaries, giving yourself the space that you need to do this kind of reflection work. Again, and do the inner standing, having the strength, because I just kind of saw the strength card flip for a second there. Balance as I cut the deck again. So we got two major arcanas already coming out here. See how in this beautiful depiction of balance, which is the temperance card, which is the justice card, but maybe we need temperance too, because temperance and justice, they have similar energies, right? But this is a much more healing energy. There's angelic energies coming through with this as well. So working with the angels that you resonate with is a big deal here. What's interesting is I'm actually being directed by Archangel Michael, thank you, to the sword again in this depiction. Notice how the sword is pointing towards him. That is a very interesting thing. Even though all of the elements being represented here in the minor arcana and the four elements in general, they're just kind of being displayed to us. That's why they're being shown that way. But from the angle that we're looking at it, it looks like that knife, that sword, is pointing into this angel. But the angel here is alchemizing all of the elements And how this is coming through is this is an alchemization. Mama Iset is showing me this as well when we talk about magic and working magic. The elements, going back to the magician, because this is very much like the magician card, right? Where we've got those 4 tools in front of us, but we're talking here about balance. We're talking here about justice. We're talking here about, I'm also hearing righting the wrongs through your energetic field. This is pure alchemy. All right. And I'm also hearing the phrase justice being served. What do we mean by that, Mama Iset? Because that's very... So she's showing me, she wants me to shuffle, but she's showing me the energy of the 8 of Swords. Someone walking out of a prison where there was a way to get out. A card just popped as I said that. Someone walking out of a prison where there was always a way to get out. When you leave, all you need to do, she's saying, is subtract yourself from the situation. When you leave, justice is served. It's felt. The energy is alchemized. 4 of Pentacles, firm foundation. The 4 of the physical body, another mountain. Do you see this? This is also it's a very masculine, solidifying energy, but we also have what looks here like the element of fire, which is another nod she's saying back to alchemy. So when you subtract yourself from a situation and you understand at a deeper level the need for the firm foundation, the inner standing, you understand at a deeper level the importance of having firm boundaries. The firm boundary, she's saying, is what creates the firm foundation. But she's also saying vice versa. So you can also be working on creating stability for yourself. And in creating that stability for yourself, you create healthy boundaries. Now, yeah, Triumph at the bottom of the deck. We got a lot of major arcanas wanting to come out here. It's the Chariot, right? Okay, so what's interesting is that in this depiction of the Chariot, there's movement. And the flag here is like an orangey red color, so please take that how it resonates, because, you know, this dude is carrying that red flag. Okay, so what she's showing me that this is representing... Oh, wow. There's a lot coming through here. Thank you, Mama. Okay, so what she's showing me with that Triumph card is that this is us taking the red flags and alchemizing the shit out of the red flags. Learning. And from that, we create the firm foundation. We create the firm boundaries. We're not going to pop any more cards. She doesn't want to pop any more. She wants me to leave it on this note. So... there's an energy of us beating ourselves up. I have been through this so much. And those are all stories for another time, which I need to kind of get organized in how I'm gonna, Anyway. Berating ourselves, especially when we're sensitive souls, empathic souls, very intuitive, right? Where we've seen little yellow, red, and it's funny because this is like an orange flag, so it's like somewhere in between, right? The little and now she's showing me green flags, right? And how that the alchemizing process of this is that because you've lived through that experience, please, she says, she's saying honor what it feels like in your body, honor what that felt like when you were going through it, because that's your biggest teacher. And it's not about necessarily someone saying the same thing that someone said in a situation where there were orange, yellow, red flags. It's more about how did you feel when they said it? What kind of state was your body in? Were you regulated? Were you dysregulated? Because all of this plays a role. there's the black, there's the white, she's saying, and then there's the gray. And she's showing me a depiction of Libra. Whew. I can't remember where this is from right now, and I don't exactly have it to hand, but she's showing me a depiction of Libra, the scales, and I'm seeing a black and white checkered floor. But the scales are sitting on the black and white checkered floor, and she's showing me that that is the gray. So it's like, and we did have the balance card come out, which is the justice card, and that's connected to Libra. So it's this energy of like, there's the black, there's the white, and then there's the in-between. There's the gray. There's the vacillation. There's the oscillation of the scales going up and down. And she's showing me with that a lemniscate, but I'm also seeing the sign of Pisces. This is not a closed loop, though. Please don't take it that way. This is an energy of flow, context, the fact that one of the biggest challenges as a human being, as a soul having a human experience, one of the biggest challenges is being able to hold a state of paradox, is what she's saying, while maintaining your values, while maintaining standards, while not projecting on another, right? But also not losing yourself in the process. That's her message for today. I'm going to leave it at that. I hope that this has helped in some way. This has resonated for you. Please like it, like the video, share it with someone, leave a comment. Sharing is caring, even if it's just a little emoji, to just express how you feel right now, okay? Maybe put some blue energy in there. I really feel her energy coming through. Thank you to each and every one of these energies here. Mama Iset, the Venusians, Mother Mary, Christ consciousness, Source coming through here to support us for our highest and greatest good. I'm sending you so much love wherever you are. Any bookings you would like to do with me to just expand this coming back home to yourself, all that information is in the description box. I'm sending you so much love wherever you are. Here on beautiful Mama Gaia, who was another one who came through for this message. In love and liberation always.